Dave, first and foremost, just an update on Zack Kassian. Do you have one?
Day to day with a lower body. Didn't skate today, but got some treatments, and we'll see where he is tomorrow.
Is Mike Smith closer to returning, to your knowledge?
He had a good practice today, but again, I haven't talked to the trainer since practice, so we'll see where he gets to the next couple of days. But it's a good sign that he's been on 2 days in a row and practicing with the group.
The team obviously disappointed with their effort last night. As a coach, how do you regroup this team, recalibrate this team, and get back to focus starting tomorrow?
Well, we know we can play better than we did last night. We didn't start the game very well, and we put a little push at the end. But coming on this trip, this is an important trip for us. We got to find a way to find some points, and more than that is if you play the right way, we can find ways to win. And when we don't start very well, get behind the eight ball is not a recipe for winning on the road. So we've been pretty good the first periods this year. Last game just wasn't. We made some. I think there are just errors you can't make going on starting a trip on the road. So made some of those errors. If we can take some of those out, we'll start better and we'll see where it goes.
Is the best part about it that it is preventable? It comes down to an execution and effort level, or is it? Where's the
every game comes down to an effort and execution level, and it's sometimes you get the breaks, but when you bring too many of those situations on yourself, then it's an issue, and that's what happened to us last night. We brought too many issues on ourselves. They capitalized, and we're chasing the game.
Just wondered, David, if there's any. I know Zack Kassian didn't skate, but if you have any update on his status.
I just said day-to-day lower body injury. Yeah, he didn't skate today. We'll see where he is tomorrow.
Obviously he didn't play much in that first period, and you were, trying him out on a different line. How, when you're trying something like that, and you don't get a chance to see it much, and he's obviously had a pretty decent start. What does that kind of do for your team?
Well, you don't get to see what you want to look for. We're looking to try to tweak things going on the road, but he only played. I think he left halfway through the first period. He only played 3 minutes or something like that. So, the thought process you had coming into the game is thrown out the window in a hurry.
Dave, Colby Cave night tomorrow here in Boston. How much does his legacy still reverberate in the dressing room?
Well, we have his jersey and a plaque hanging right in the dressing room, right where the players walk by every day. He's in your minds all the time. There's Emily is still in Edmonton, and I know the players and the whole organization. Spend some time with her still, so it's. He was a fine young man, and lost too early.
How did he connect with people, Colby, that is? Because he wasn't an Oiler for very long, but he seemed to really reverberate.
He's one of those guys. He's a worker on the team, shows up just well-liked guy, smiling all the time. He's one of those guys. Is just a good teammate, good friend, fits in well. Was easy to get along with.
Yeah. Seemed to care about everyone.
Yeah, just a real good person.
Dave, is there any moment that you can recollect with Colby that really brought this great impression of you, of that individual?
Well, it's funny. I met Colby at a rookie camp down in Arizona. He came down to a rookie camp when he was still in junior. Got to know him a little bit there. But then the one that he came in, the one that sticks out in my mind is we won a big game in Pittsburgh, and he scored a beautiful goal. Just seeing how happy he was, but seeing how happy everybody was for him that's a great memory.
Great. Oh.
Dave, I'm sorry. Just a general question, kind of a long view thing. You've talked about that this year, and one of your leaders, Leon Draisaitl, the other night against Nashville, sets up Puljujärvi for an empty netter when he could have very easily had a hat trick himself. And now Puljujärvi, fast forward, has 4 goals in his last 3 games. Are you finding that your leadership group in particular is starting to become an extension of you to the degree that they're trying to see things in the long view rather than the short term?
Yeah, I would say as they mature, that group has really matured, and some of the players we brought in that add leadership to, and Duncan Keith and Hyman, guys like that. So the more you get more leaders around, our leadership group continues to mature, and it's not about individual, it's about team and finding a way to win as a group. And not just win day to day, but win long term. So those lessons all continue to sink in, and it's great to see our guys that are recognizing that and playing accordingly.